Welcome, Derbyites. You are here for our live coverage of the Creative Arts Emmy Awards Part 2. Yesterday, the awards kicked off, and now we are here for this morning's. And these are the sorts of awards we've got this morning. We've got animated, reality, documentary shows. This afternoon, sorry. I'm in Australia, so it's morning here. And we are joined by David Buchanan, Kevin Jacobs. Oh, no, sorry. That was yesterday's lineup. Sorry, I'm just reading a list. Charles Bright, Denton Davidson, Marcus Dixon, and we're being directed, as always, by Riley Chow. Welcome, gentlemen.
It feels like a soap opera. The role of David Buchanan will be played by...
Very much so. Very much so. Boy, guys, reality, documentary, and animation. Let's start with Charles. You love your animation. What are you most excited for today with that?
I'm waiting to see if Queen's Gambit wins animated program. Because after yesterday, isn't it going to win everything now?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited about animated program. I'm always excited about that. And if you doubt me, watch my reaction from 2 years ago when BoJack Horseman lost to the Simpsons, and I was royally pissed. But I actually, I made a last minute change. I was predicting Big Mouth for the longest time, but I switched yesterday before our prediction center closed to Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal. I think that this is something that is very well loved by the animation branch. It won 3 Juried Awards last year, and this is voted specifically by the animation branch. So I think that that getting the nomination was the hurdle. This could be a good win for them.
Mm-hmm. What Marcus? What are your thoughts? What are you most excited about for this in this first ceremony today?
Well, it's interesting that animated program is going to be one of the first 5-ish presented. We have an order here from Chris Beach, who is in our center. So we'll know right away whether Charlie is right or wrong, and I hope he's right, because otherwise he's going to be throwing things at his laptop. Trust me.
It's a tradition at this point.
But other things I'm looking forward to, character voiceover performance, narrator. Reality host, can RuPaul win again? And by the way, we just found out the presenter order too, and Ross Matthews and Michelle Visage are presenting reality host potentially to RuPaul. So that's kind of iffy.
We will hear Chris's complaints about this very soon if that ends up happening.
Yeah. Right. Denton, what are you most excited for?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if RuPaul continues kind of steamrolling the competition, and I'm really curious about these documentaries and docuseries, because there's some really interesting races there that I think could go in a variety of ways. So I'm excited to see how those shake out.
Yeah. And as Marcus, as Marcus shared with us, Chris Beecham has sent us the rundown for today's awards. And the very first award, if I'm reading this correctly, is going to be presented by RuPaul Charles, and it's going to be the character voiceover performance. With the nominees, Jessica Walter from Archer, Maya Rudolph, Big Mouth, Stacey Abrams, Blackish, Julie Andrews, Bridgerton, Titus Burgess, Central Park, Stanley Tucci, Central Park, and Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy. There you go. Charles, what would your prediction be there? Who do you think is going to take that out?
I am going with the consensus that Julie Andrews will win this one, but this is actually very interesting. I'm going with her because I think she is the name in this field. I don't think there's a bigger name than her, but I do think that there's a lot of Maya Rudolph won this last year. I'm keeping my eye on Jessica Walter because, she, this is obviously a posthumous nomination for her. She'd never been nominated for playing Mallory Archer before. So it would be interesting. It would be a worthy win. The episode that she submitted, the double date, is actually very funny. Stanley Tucci is what I would keep an eye out also for, because he voices this old, crusty Manhattan socialite named Bitsy Brandenham. So he's always talking like this, you see. And he's very funny in it. So I keep an eye out for him. And of course, Seth MacFarlane has won this category 4 times before. So I wouldn't count him out either. The one who I actually think it would be weird if Stacey Abrams won this. As much as I adore her, I think she is a powerhouse who you do not mess with at your own risk. But it's a very brief performance where it doesn't really involve her actually like building a character or anything. So it would be very weird. It'd be very much like when Anne Hathaway won this for The Simpsons. I think that was like 14 years ago.
What do you think, Marcus? Who are you predicting here?
I love this category, and with Julie Andrews being included here, it's really not a category that I'm questioning at all. I think she's the clear front runner here. And I was just looking at her Emmy history. She does have 2 Emmys, but they're both for producing. So this would be her first performance Emmy, and I do count this as a performance Emmy. I mean, she's playing a character. If she were to lose, if lightning were to strike and she didn't win, I would say Jessica Walter for the posthumous, everyone loved Jessica Walter, and I was so gutted when she passed away. So there's an off chance that she could win.
Yeah, Jessica Walter's been fantastic in that show, and it's been such a consistent voice performance for so long. And as someone who's done, it'd be great for her to win an Emmy this year. I'd love it, but I'm predicting Julie Andrews as well. What do you think, Denton?
Yeah, I think it's hard to look away from her name on a ballot like this. I mean, she just stands out so clearly. I do find it interesting that I was looking at our overall odds, and Seth MacFarlane was in last place, and he's won multiple times. So, I mean, it's interesting that people have no faith in him at this point. I would look out for him to possibly surprise here. And you've got both Titus Burgess and Stanley Tucci from Central Park. Central Park, it didn't work out too well for them in previous years. So we'll see.
What's interesting about their nomination for Central Park is that they're nominated for even though the season 2 has premiered, they are nominated for the final episode of season 1, which premiered after the window closed for last year's Emmys. So it's a very strange positioning for their nomination.
Yeah, and
also I would just to jump on the whole Jessica Walter thing. When I talked earlier this year to Casey Willis, the showrunner of Archer. He spoke very fondly about remembering recording with Jessica and how she always would play very coy about, very innocent when they would have her, referencing something like teabagging. And she would always play so innocent. She would force them to explain it to her. And she just loved making them so uncomfortable in doing that.
Oh, that's great. That's such a good story. So, I think that Julie Andrews is the front runner, but don't completely count her out in the sense that, don't completely say she's guaranteed it, because it's weird. Some people might want to vote for a cartoon. It's weird when she's a narrator compared to the cartoon characters. And
you're right. Sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, I'd finish.
I was literally just going to interrupt you to say that you're right, because I'm just looking at the history of this category. Big Mouth, Family Guy, The Simpsons. They love voting for cartoons in this category. So I don't know the last time somebody won for a drama series.
But it could also be a win for Bridgerton, where Bridgerton might not get a lot of wins. I mean, we don't know how this is going to work out for.
I mean, it didn't do well. It only won 1 last night, right?
No.
Yeah,
but it beat a lot of worthy contenders for that win.
No, it's very true. So we'll see what happens. And if Bridgerton does win, it will be its second win because it won an award yesterday. And I have our Emmy board. We've got the Emmy board here of shows from to keep a track of which shows are winning the most Emmys. So if you get on the board if you win 2 Emmys. That's the rule. That's how it works. And we had yesterday at the first Creative Arts Awards, we got Ted Lasso, WandaVision, and The Crown all on 2. and Pose, The Mandalorian, and SNL on 3, and then look all the way up here at 7, Queen's Gambit. I'll tell you,
It's crazier when you look at that way. It even shows more.
I'll tell you one thing. Emmys would need to go really off script for Queen's Gambit to get further ahead in this show. It is not eligible in any of the categories that are.
It wins by write-in.
Yeah, so it would need to win by a write-in. So we'll see how it goes.
And back to Bridgerton. Bridgerton won hairstyling yesterday, and it beat The Crown, The Mandalorian, Ratchet, and WandaVision. So I don't think a lot of people were predicting that could happen, but I guess it shows Bridgerton has more fans than we thought.
Yeah.
At least in that one thing.
Yes.
At least when it comes to hair.
Yeah. Let's just in case, because the categories do come in pretty fast and thin. Pretty fast and thick and fast. Not thin. Anyway, whatever they come in as, thin and all good. Thin and thick, both good things. Jenna Schmaning is going to present the next 3 categories: casting for reality, writing for nonfiction, and narrator. So let's get ourselves a little bit excited with the casting for a reality series.
I got those nominees here if you need them.
Good. Read them out, Charles.
I got my printed out packet as always. The nominees there are casting directors from Queer Eye, RuPaul's Drag Race, Shark Tank, Top Chef, and The Voice. And if you want, I can go to writing as well, the writing for nonfiction.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's dip in there. And that's nice because we'll be starting with an animation category, a reality category, and a nonfiction category, 3 of the different areas of today's awards.
Yep. So the nominees there are All In, The Fight for Democracy, Alan v. Farrow for episode 3, The Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, The Social Dilemma, and Tulsa Burning, the 1921 Race Massacre.
So what do we think for casting for a reality program? I'm looking at the last 4 years of that one. I think the category's only been around for, I think this is the 5th year of the category. And RuPaul won that last year. Queer Eye won the 2 years before that. And Born This Way won the year before that. So you'd have to say RuPaul's and Queer Eye look specials. For like one of those will probably take it out. And RuPaul's the more recent one. What do you think, Denton?
Yeah, I'm going with RuPaul. I think the finalists this year, especially, like it was such a great season. So I do think they had a great casting season for season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So I do think it's really between them and Queer Eye. But, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Marcus?
I agree. It's probably those 2, RuPaul versus Queer Eye. RuPaul won last year, Queer Eye the previous 2. It's hard to bet against RuPaul. There's this whole RuPaul reconnaissance going on, and everyone's just, especially because the show's on Paramount now. So the voters are watching some of the old seasons they may have missed because the show didn't really pick up till season 9 at the Emmys, at least. So I'm going to go with RuPaul. Denton's right. The finalists were really memorable this year.
Yeah. I agree. Charles, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think RuPaul's winning. And the fact that they also cast that in the middle of the pandemic is also quite an achievement. So I think that they're probably going to pull that one out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I don't know if anyone mentioned this, but the All-Stars version of RuPaul was airing during voting, and that's not what's eligible, of course, but it may have confused some voters, and they may have been like, oh, this show I'm watching is nominated. Let me vote for it. That could happen with Ted Lasso as well over on the comedy side.
And an All-Stars season is a great reminder of the great casting over the years of that show. So, it's sort of a bit of a highlights reel of casting. So it's a good thing that really showcases the casting directors' work there. So that's really cool. I haven't seen our first winner yet. Let's move on to our I did just see someone said Love, Death and Robot should be on 5, the board of 5 with Curry Williams says because they've got some Juried Awards. I'm going to wait. Yeah, which is definitely true. I was going to wait until they actually hand out those Juried Awards in the show to add them. But yes, Love, Death, and Robots will be shooting up that board, and those Juried Awards are presented this series, this show that we're watching right now. So Love, Death, and Robots will have an accurate placing on the board at the end of this awards. Let's go writing. While we're waiting for. Oh wait, we've got the character voiceover performance.
Oh, there we go.
And there's been an upset, and the Emmy goes to Maya Rudolph for Big Mouth.
What?
Good for her. Good for her.
I am shocked that Julie Andrews just lost that. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, if anyone she's going to lose to, what would make most sense is if she lost to last year's winner. I mean, that's something that the Emmys do all the time.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's a very good episode that she won for. She won for the episode where it's called a very special 9/11 episode, timing, and whatnot. It's a very twisted episode where the kids ditch a field trip to the 9/11 museum to hang out with one of their friends, and Connie, her character, the hormone monstrous, is a hormone monstrous for both Nick and Jesse, and they're having a huge fight, and she's caught in the middle, and she gets to do some great back and forths with herself. It's a really good win. Don't know if she gets to say the words bubble bath on it, but she's still very good in it.
And this just cements her victory later tonight in the next show. She's nominated for guest hosting SNL. She won that last year. She's definitely going to win again now.
Yeah. She's
weird. Like the same two categories 2 years in a row. I don't know if anybody's done that before.
It's a good.
We'll have to remember next year, for no matter how big of a front runner there is, it will go to someone from an animated series.
Yeah.
Yes. And I guess we shouldn't be too surprised because Seth MacFarlane kept on winning this award and gotten a bit of a run with it, and Maya Rudolph's doing the same here. Very good.
Does this bode well for Big Mouth and Best Animated Program?
It could. I mean, it didn't last year, and they also won the derivative interactive program last year, and they still didn't win.
There you go.
So, yeah, we'll see.
In the writing, let's jump ahead to the writing in a nonfiction program category, and we've got we have All In, Alan vs. Farrow, The Bee Gees, The Social Dilemma, and Tulsa Burning. What are we predicting here, guys? What do you think, Denton?
This one's tough. When you look back at it, there's not a lot of music documentaries that have done particularly well here, so I don't know about the Bee Gees. I think Alan v. Farrow is formidable, but I really like The Social Dilemma. I think it's so fast paced and it's so informative. That's the one I took the most away from, and then I immediately posted about it on social media. So I don't think it did me a whole lot of good. The lessons that were learned, but I kind of lean towards The Social Dilemma on this. Tulsa Burning, the 1921 race massacre. It was very good. It's very informative. It's almost like a podcast audiobook. You could listen to it without watching it and almost take away the same information. But for me, The Social Dilemma.
Yeah. What do you think, Marcus?
Stacey Abrams was involved in All In, the Fight for Democracy, and she got that kind of random voiceover nomination. So I might go with that one. I would say Alan versus Farrow. That was the most buzzy. Oh, we have a winner.
Yes, and you can announce it if you'd like, Marcus.
The winner for Best Casting for a Reality Show goes to RuPaul's Drag Race, who won this last year. So 2 years in a row now.
Fantastic. Okay, the Emmys are starting to catch up with us, so we'll need to speed along here. Charles, what do you think about the writing in nonfiction?
Writing, I think we did get a random winner last year in Don't F with Cats, which had no other nominations. It's a great series, but it had no other nominations. So I wouldn't count out something like an All In or Tulsa Burning, which have very few, if any, other nominations. I still think probably the one to go with is probably Alan v. Farrow, though I think it's between that and Social Dilemma.
Yeah, and I think, sort of close. There are two most nominated nonfiction things tonight: is Social Dilemma, and Alan v. Farrow in the documentary series nonfiction side of things. Queer Eye also 6 nominations in this award show. So I'm talking about just the awards handed out today. I know Queer Eye also has a host. I know the host is today too, so I think that's all the Queer Eyes awards. So I know RuPaul's Drag Race has 5 today, but we'll have 1 extra at the prime time next week when it's Best Reality Competition Program. Okay, so here we go. Best Narrator is the category that's after that. That's a big category. We love our Best Narrator, and the nominees for that are going to be Sterling K. Brown for Lincoln, Divided We Stand, Anthony Hopkins from Oscar-winning Anthony Hopkins from Mythic Quest, David Attenborough, A Perfect Place, Secret of Wales, Sigourney Weaver, and David Attenborough, The Year the Earth That Changed. One thing about this category is the last 3 years David Attenborough has won. He's won 3 years. He's going for his 4th win in a row. And I think the biggest problem to David Attenborough winning again will be David Attenborough. Yeah,
I just want to say the same time as you.
Yeah.
Well, even just looking at the expert predictions, they've split even among the experts of which one they're going with, which David Attenborough they like the best. So yeah, I mean, this is a really fun category that could go any way. It's kind of stacked in a fun way. Yeah.
And we have a winner. Charles, do you want to announce the winner?
Sure. The winner, the Emmy for Outstanding Writing for a Nonfiction Program, goes to The Social Dilemma. Congratulations to Jeff Orlowski, who I got the chance to talk to earlier this year.
Yeah. When I was going through yesterday, I noticed it was in 7 categories. Like, The Social Dilemma is going to win somewhere. It's going to pick it. They like that show. They like that show.
What's interesting about The Social Dilemma is that you actually get a chance to actually appreciate the writing of it, because in addition to, you're doing the whole thing with talking to, all these different tech people, you have this parallel narrative, like fictional narrative of how social media can consume a family. So it's very interesting. And I heard a lot of mixed reactions from people to that part of the documentary, but it seems like the writing branch and the nonfiction branch really responded to it. So that definitely wasn't something that they held against them.
Mm. Yes, no, I agree. The Emmys are proving tougher to win for Stacey Abrams than Georgia Senate seats. So it's just a bit of a tougher to rank.
I think Brian Kemp was involved in changing the voting procedures and who was allowed to vote on this. So take with that what you will.
Yeah, there you go. So fantastic. The narrator. Who hasn't weighed in on Narrator yet? We've all talked a bit about David Attenborough, and I still think he'll win.
We have a winner.
We do have a winner. Whoa. Okay. And the winner for Outstanding Narrator is Sterling K. Brown, Lincoln, Divided We Stand.
His 3rd career Emmy.
There you go.
I interviewed him earlier this year, and I still went against him like an idiot.
He is beloved.
Yeah. He was excited. He was really excited about that nomination. So I'm happy for him.
I thought he would have a tough chance because that's the only nomination for that program. But David Attenborough's 2 nominations were the only nominations for his 2 programs as well. My pick was Sigourney, but
I was hoping she would pull that one out.
I'm so happy for Sterling.
Okay. Big category coming up next. The Schuyler brothers are going to announce animated program before announcing picture editing for nonfiction and sound mixing for nonfiction. Charles, I'll let you kick this off. Talk us through your thoughts for the animated race.
So our nominees for animated program are Big Mouth for the episode The New Me, Bob's Burgers for the unfortunately titled episode Worms of Enrearment, Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal for the episode Plague of Madness, The Simpsons for the Dad Feelings Limited, and South Park, The Pandemic Special. As I said, I had been predicting Big Mouth. It seems like it was on that trajectory, but I switched the last minute to Tartakovsky's Primal, because I really think because this is an animation specific category, I think that one will stand out.
Yeah,
it's a tough one, but I weirdly feel confident about it.
Oh, very good. I actually am not. I'm predicting an upset for Big Mouth too, but I think they might go back to the Bob Burg as well, because that's won twice before, and that seems to be a recent favorite of Emmy voters in this category. What do you think, Marcus?
Sorry, I was tweeting. You're talking about animated program, right?
Yeah, animated program.
I'm going to go with Big Mouth. I feel like, last year Maya winning was maybe a fluke. This year against Julie Andrews, they watched the show. They love the show. Big Mouth.
Yeah. What do you think, Denton?
I went with Big Mouth too. This is kind of a roller coaster of a category because shows win and then they lose and then they come back. Like The Simpsons just won in 2019, I think. So I mean,
yeah,
anything can come back. Big Mouth has yet to win, and a few of these already have. So who knows? But I'm looking for Big Mouth to break through here.
Yes, don't sleep on The Simpsons ever in this category. It's won 11 times, and as Dennis said, most recently 2019. We actually had 2020 Rick and Morty, 2019 Simpsons, 2018 Rick and Morty, 2017 Bob's Burgers, and 2016 Archer that's not even nominated today. Bob's Burgers has won twice before, Simpsons 11 times, and South Park's won 5 before, but I'm not sure if it won tonight, whether that counts as a South. I
think it does. I think it would. It would, because even though because instead of doing a season, they did these 2 specials, and it's part of the same thing. It's just called one thing, South Park Pandemic Special. It would count.
Okay. Well, we can avoid the debates and discussions on that if it doesn't win. I
have made my ruling on this, so that's all that matters.
Charlie's spoken. I like.
Charlie, how excited are you for this category?
I would love it if Big Mouth won. I'm not as excited and as tense as recent years because the whole BoJack Horseman thing is now through my system and it's concluded. So I'm not. I would have loved to have seen if our cartoon president had been nominated for this. I would be a lot more excited because I thought that show was one of the best satires we've had in the past 10 years. So and that's why I'm jealous of you, Matt, because you got to interview the creator of that for Tuning Out the News.
Yes, that's very exciting. And Tuning Out the News, I think that's nominated in the next show, not this one.
Yes! I called it! Primal wins! I called it!
There you go. That's very
good. It was in last place in our prediction center. I put the super bet on it.
Wow.
Yeah!
Oh, look at
Congrats.
You. Oh, man. God, Charlie, when you get to cash in that Gold Derby check, very good.
Once I get it off my shoulder.
Animated program. That is one of the big winners of tonight. Taking out some heavyweights in this show, in this category, like The Simpsons, South Park, and more recently Bob's Burgers. And Big Mouth can't win again. Can't parlay that voiceover win. Okay, the Emmys have really caught up with us now. Picture editing in non-fiction programming. The nominees are... Wait, I'm not on the picture.
Can I go with that one?
You can, yeah, please.
Okay, nominees are Alan B. Farrow for Episode 1, Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, Framing Britney Spears, Q, Into the Storm for the last episode, The Storm, and The Social Dilemma. It is tough. I kind of think maybe Alan B. Farrow or Social Dilemma are the ones to watch out for here, but keep an eye out for Q, Into the Storm. That is the final. It's nominated for the final episode. It's and that has the footage from January 6th when Colin Hoback was with one of the 8 Coon people at the Capitol. It is astonishingly well put together, and I would keep an eye out for that. But I still think Alan B. Farrow and Social Dilemma are the ones are the front runners here.
What do you think, Denton?
I went with Social Dilemma here again, but I agree that it's between that and Alan B. Farrow, as I think a lot of these categories will be. It's just so fast-paced. There's a lot going on. So when you look at some of these award shows like the Oscars and the Emmys, sometimes, that's what wins out. I think Life on Our Planet is beautifully edited, and Framing Britney Spears is a little fast paced as well. I just don't know if that was as well comprehensively put together as some of these other ones.
Yeah. What do you think, Marcus?
Well, Social Dilemma just won a big award, so maybe there's going to be a sweep. Or, framing Britney Spears was very, very, very important to the whole Free Britney movement, and it resulted in all of these dominoes that fell, and she's now possibly going to be free. So, in terms of importance, maybe that one. Okay, I'll go with Britney Spears.
Wow. Yeah, I tend to think as we've said, like it might be a bit of an Alan versus Farrow versus Social Dilemma for a couple of categories tonight. And the winner, the best picture editing for a non-fiction series, is The Social Dilemma.
It's
which
a sweep.
means, yeah, it could be at the beginning of a sweep, which means The Social Dilemma is on 2 wins now, so we can put it on the board.
Put it on the big board.
Put it on the big board. Gets up there. The Social Dilemma. Sorry, the graphics probably a bit hard to read on that one. There's a TSD for Social Dilemma. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Our first show to win 2 Emmys tonight. Let's move on to the next category, and it is sound. No. It is sound mixing for non-fictional reality. And the sound, here we go. My sound page. Sound mixing for non-fiction or reality program. The Bee Gees, How to Mend a Broken Heart, Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, Life Below Zero, Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy, and Tina.
I'm going to vote for Social Dilemma, even though it's not nominated. No, I'm going to go with Billie Eilish here. It's usually a music thing. At least I think it's usually a music program that wins sound mixing. So I guess it's Billie versus Bee Gees. I'm going to go with Billie Eilish.
Bee Gees has more nominations than the Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish has 4 too.
Oh, does she? Yeah, she probably. Okay.
I will say Bee Gees has their re-recording mixer is Gary Rizzo, who's multiple Oscar winner, I believe. I know he's at least won one, so that might be one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. Just having a look. In 2017, the Beatles, 8 Days a Week, won this series. So yes, there's precedent of music's things doing well here. Denton, what do you think?
I agree with the music. I'm going with Bee Gees though, just because it had some of those. They might have the same amount of nominations, but the Bee Gees has sort of the higher caliber nominations in terms of best documentary. I think the Bee Gees, Billie Eilish, and Life on Our Planet are also nominated for sound editing. I don't know if that matters that much, but just it might mean that it's between those 3 and. Bee Gees over Billie Eilish, just because I don't know what the voting age demographic exactly is, but maybe they like the Bee Gees more than Billie Eilish.
It probably skews older and male, considering its sound mixing category. So, can I switch my vote to Bee Gees?
Yes, we'll allow.
We have a winner,
and the winner is
sound mixing for nonfiction or reality goes to David Attenborough. Show, which was called
A Life on Our Planet, which did very that's one of our big nominees today. I think A Life on Our Planet has 5 nominations in today's awards, so it's got its first one done. David Attenborough cancels himself out of the narration category, and maybe all these music acts cancel each other out in the sound mixing category.
Perhaps
it's possible, but according to some sources I've heard, vote splitting isn't a thing. So we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, we'll see. Bear Grylls is coming up at the Emmy Awards now, and he is going to be presenting hosted nonfiction series or special, directing for a documentary or nonfiction, and directing for a reality series. So. Let me just see the hosted.
I got that one if you need it.
Oh, great. Yeah, read them
out. Our nominees are My Next Guest Needs no Introduction with David Letterman, Oprah with Meghan and Harry, a CBS primetime special. Stanley Tucci, Searching for Italy. United Shades of America with W. Kamau Bell. And Vice.
Vice. What do you think? What do you think here, Denton?
I'm actually going with United Shades of America. It's kind of an upset. You know, Oprah is Oprah. I've tried to make myself care about royal drama. I'm not into it.
Not this. This isn't the Emmys for you this year if you're not into royal drama.
But
you must be hating this year.
People really love Stanley Tucci's show about Italy too. But I'm going with United Shades of America. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Past 5 years, only 2 shows have won this category. Leah Remini's Scientology and Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown. It's just to me, they love it when someone's name is in the title of the show.
Hasn't Vice lost like 7 years in a row or 6 or something?
Yeah, I think, so I don't know, Marcus, what do you think?
How can you bet against Oprah? I mean, that interview went so viral. I think she was number 1 in our odds, and I think I went with her. And looking at these nominations now, it's probably Oprah versus W. Kamau Bell, who they really love him at the Emmys.
Yeah, so he's won in other categories and things.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with Oprah.
Yeah, I'm going with Oprah, but boy, I'd love to see. Like, I'm probably a bit biased towards the series over like a special, like a one-off interview sort of thing. But we'll see. I'd love to see Dave Letterman take this out, or Stanley Tucci. Kamau Bell's done great work. Vice does some good stuff, but I'm thinking Oprah might take it out.
What are the chances that Oprah is actually there in the audience?
She's not. I will guarantee you, she probably is not. As she is not a nominee for this.
Oh well, there you go.
Neither is David Letterman.
Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm looking at the list here. Very good. Stanley Tucci is.
Yes.
So Stanley Tucci, if Stanley Tucci can take this out, he's gonna get it. He'll get an Emmy. Let's see who else. I'm
with Denton on this. I'm going with United Shades of America because it hasn't been in this category, but I mean, this is a proven winner, and this is a proven winner.
It's also important. He deals with a lot of issues that are really facing the country today.
Yes. Let's have a look at while we wait for the winner on that, let's have a look at our 2 directing categories that are going to be handed out after. Directing for documentary or non-fiction. There's Alan vs. Farrow for episode 3. The Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Boys State, Dick Johnson is Dead, The Social Dilemma, and Tina. So does The Social Dilemma continue its run, or can Alan vs. Farrow get off the board? Or does someone else win?
Well, these don't always go hand in hand. So this is interesting that like there have been splits in the past as far as, winning director, but not the actual documentary nonfiction program. So I would love to see the director.
Whoa, there we go.
We have an upset. And the Emmy goes to, for hosted nonfiction series or special, Stanley Tucci. Searching for Tucci. We have an Emmy win for Tucci. People love Tucci. Tucci in Italy.
They found him.
They found him.
Yeah, so this is Stanley Tucci's 4th career Emmy. He won lead actor in a miniseries or movie in 1999 for Winchell, then won guest actor in a comedy for Monk, and then in 2016 won as a producer for Park Bench with Steve Buscemi for a short-form variety series.
So, yes, the Emmys searching for Tucci in categories. They've found him in a 4th. So, very good. I love it.
I mean, who doesn't want to? I mean, honestly, who wouldn't want to watch just Stanley Tucci going around Italy eating food? I mean, I would watch that.
And actually, like, Anthony Bourdain was so beloved, so it's like hard to make comparisons. But it's a similar sort of show to like Anthony Bourdain, like exploring a place, having the food. Like,
that's a really good point, and I need to remember that next year when I'm predicting this category.
Yeah. So very good. The directing. Did anyone else have any comments on directing for a non-fiction program?
I'll comment.
Oh, we got a winner.
Oh,
we got a winner in that.
Dick Johnson is dead.
Dick Johnson is dead. Wins the directing award for that. Very good for it. Is up in the exceptional merit in documentary filmmaking category, which is juried, but it does have nominees, which is really weird. But but yeah, that's a big win for that. Good for them. I thought Social Dilemma was going to take that.
Yeah, and that's 3. So Social Dilemma, A Chink in Its Armor, and there you go. Another upset. We've seen quite a few upsets roll in. We're going to have directing for reality as well, which is next up. The Amazing Race. Give me a beard bum. Sorry, Queer Eye, Preaching Out Loud, RuPaul's Drag Race, Getting Lucky, Top Chef, Pan African Portland, and The Voice. The blind auditions premiere.
We have a winner.
Oh, and the winner is Marcus?
The winner for directing for reality is RuPaul's Drag Race. I think we were all probably going to say that's what we were predicting.
Yeah. Yeah. Which surprisingly hasn't won since, I think, the first year of this category in 2018. Queer Eye won in 2019 and Cheer won last year. So it's back in the winner's circle.
I think they directed the Getting Lucky video for RuPaul. I interviewed Nick Murray, the director of this, and he was very proud of the video he put together for that with the finalists. So good for him.
Oh, very good. Is that RuPaul's second win of the evening?
For today, in addition to, didn't it win? Let me see here. Did it win any yesterday?
I can't. I'm having a look. I don't think it won yesterday. I'm having a look at my list of winners.
Yeah, it didn't win any yesterday.
So that's its second win. It's on the board.
Yeah, congrats, RuPaul. I think RuPaul will probably win host later, so you may just want to put it at number 3.
Well, we won't get ahead of ourselves, but yes, I think we could be getting ready to move RuPaul up even further. RuPaul on the board. Next category is
music composition for a documentary, series, or special, original dramatic score. Our nominees there are Alan V. Farrow for episode 4, American Masters for Amy Tan, Unintended Memoir, David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, The Social Dilemma, and Tulsa Burning, the 1921 Race Massacre.
A relatively recent category. We don't have a whole lot of history or precedent to skim through here. What do you think, Marcus?
This David Attenborough thing is really sticking out to me, and I haven't seen this specific one, but I've watched all the Planet Earths and all the Blue Planets, and the music is always so dang good, and it really carries the program. There's no actors, there's no humans. It's animals and music. That's basically what it is. And cinematography. So I'm going to go with David Attenborough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Denton?
Yeah, I agree with David Attenborough. I also would look again at The Social Dilemma. I think it's sort of frantic in the way that the music is, and it stands out. And I don't remember the music from Alan V. Farrow as well as I do those other two. So those are the
It did get a nomination for main title theme music, though, didn't it, Alan vs. Farrow? So potentially shows that they might like the music in that show. I don't know. Charlie, do you have any thoughts?
I would say David Attenborough seems like a good one. This is done by Stephen Price, who, of course, won an Oscar for scoring Gravity. But I would also keep an eye out on Social Dilemma, but also Tulsa Burning, because that has Branford Marsalis behind it, a very famous jazz composer.
And after the music category, we're going to have 2 cinematography awards, one for nonfiction and one for reality. And the cinematography for nonfiction are City So Real, David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet, Dick Johnson Is Dead, Rebuilding Paradise, Secrets of the Whales, and The Social Dilemma. Any thoughts on that, Marcus? You were saying how David Attenborough does quite well with music sort of stuff, but what about cinematography? Like that's Planet Earth one back in 2017 here.
The cinematography on those shows is always so breathtaking, especially if you have an HD TV, which I think at this point everyone does. It actually makes you feel like you're there. We have a winner. Music for documentary series or specials. Stephen Price for the David Attenborough special.
David Attenborough special, which means David Attenborough gets to go on our board too, because that's its second win for the night, isn't he?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I've got a little globe here for David Attenborough, a little world. It says "Life on Our Planet" on it, but you might not be able to read it. So we'll see how he climbs. Oh, yeah, on 2. Yes, I got it right. Okay, very good. Our other cinematography category for reality is The Amazing Race, Deadly.
I just wanted to.
Yeah,
Can I just on the nonfiction program? I do think David Attenborough is the one to go with, but I would also keep an eye for City So Real. It's very on the ground, verite style. And it's very nice because Steve James is nominated with his son, Jackson James, who helped him on this.
That's very nice. And Secret of Wales has 3 nominations today, so I wouldn't count them out either. There, cinematography reality program is The Amazing Race, Deadliest Catch, Life Below Zero, Queer Eye, and RuPaul's Drag Race. And actually, like, you might think this is like a RuPaul and Queer Eye because a lot of the races seem to be, but Life Below Zero has won the past 3 years in this category.
It's anything outside. I mean, if you're outside in nature, you're gonna do well in cinematography.
And we have a winner.
Yes.
Yep. Cinematography for nonfiction, David Attenborough. Again, he's cleaning up.
He's doing well. He always does. So there you go. Up to 3 wins for David Attenborough. Up at a Mandalorian level for this year at the moment, currently. Okay. So, so like I think maybe Life Below Zero wins its 4th Emmy in a row. Does someone think it could be?
And I would say second place is probably Deadliest Catch of these 5. That's what my prediction.
What do you think, Marcus or Charles?
I think Life Below Zero. It's just so beautiful to look at, and it takes place up in Alaska, and you've got different visuals than all of these other shows, and you know, when something keeps winning like this show does, it's hard to bet against it. Yeah,
very much so. So when we finish the Cinematography Awards, Ross Matthews and Michelle Visage are going to be presenting Reality Host, Animated Short Form Program, and Animated Individual Achievement. So which they're the previous announced jury ones. So we might get a bit of breathing time after that, after those first 2. Reality Host. Let's talk about it. It's a big category. RuPaul chasing sort of like to beat his own history a little bit there. You've got Nicole Byer for Nailed It. Bobby Burke, Karamo Brown, Tan France, and Tony Porosky and Jonathan Van Ness for Queer Eye as one.
We have a winner, Matt.
Oh, what's the winner?
Cinematography for reality goes to Life Below Zero.
4th win in a row there. So we've got Nicole Byer for Nailed It. We've got the Queer Eye host. We've got RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race. We've got Mark Cuban, Barbara Cochran, Laurie Griner, Robert Herviak, and Damon John, and Kevin O'Leary, all for Shark Tank, all as one nominee that all win together. And we've got Padma Lakshmi, Tom Colaciono, and Gail Simmons for Top Chef, nominated all as one as well. Apologies for mispronouncing some of those names. Does RuPaul win his 6th in a row? He's won the last 5 years, which is the record in this category. What do we think?
You know, for a couple of days, I actually switched to Nicole Byer. She is just so beloved in the industry. Remember, she hosted these creative arts ceremonies. I think there were 5 ceremonies last year. And everybody loves her. She's so fun. And so for a couple of days, I switched to her in the prediction center. And then I let it sit there, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. Like, I don't have a reason to bet against RuPaul at this stage. So I went back to RuPaul.
Yeah. What do you think, Denton?
I just have no questions here. I just think I don't have a lot of analytics for that.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Charles?
I mean, I have no reason to believe it will be anybody other than RuPaul, so I'm just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
I will say this: RuPaul's not going to win this category for the next 5 to 10 years. Eventually, somebody is going to take down RuPaul. So why not this year?
Anyone got a reason why not this year?
No, I don't have a good reason.
I'm not going down that road.
Yeah. I think it's a bit like the Daily Show at the Emmys when that just kept on winning every year, and you're like, well, I'd probably better just bet on it every year, and then I'll be wrong the one year when it doesn't win.
Because then you would get the random wins by Conan O'Brien or the Colbert Report.
Yeah.
And
so
I'll repeat what I said earlier. RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars was airing during voting, and it was reminding voters how good RuPaul is as host.
Yeah. So no, I think he's fairly safe. But we'll see. The category after that is Outstanding Short Form Animated Program. We've got Love, Death, and Robots. Maggie Simpson in The Force Awakens from its nap. Once Upon a Snowman, and Robot Chicken. What do we think? Love, Death, and Robots won an award yesterday. Not even in a sort of animation specific category. It's won some Juried Awards that are coming up straight after this category. I think Love, Death, and Robots is a special. Does anyone disagree?
No, I'm with you on that. I think it'll probably win. I would love to see Robot Chicken win, though.
Right.
Yeah, which it has won before. Robot Chicken's won 3 before. And Love, Death, and Robots, I think, has won in 2019. Look, watch out for Once Upon a Snowman, because Forky asked a question one last year. So you never know. Maybe the Disney animated
Robot Chicken is definitely the funniest one, but it's kind of gross. I it might turn some voters off. But
I don't know. If they've rewarded it before, I think they're already on that train.
Once Upon a Snowman is, it's an outtake from Frozen. So,
yeah. Do you have a thought on that one, Marcus?
I'll go with Love, Death, and Robots. It did win a lot of Emmys earlier, and it's always hard to bet against that.
Yeah, it's won this category before, so it's not like we go, do they like it in this category or anything? They do. It won in 2019.
We have a winner.
And the winner is this is reality host.
Reality host goes to RuPaul, number 6.
He's done it again. So RuPaul moves up to 3 Emmy wins for the year so far, but we'll see.
And what is this number? What is this number for him overall? 9, I think.
Oh yeah, not in this category, but just overall Emmys.
Overall, yeah.
I'm not sure I should know that in front of me, but 9 sounds about right.
Yeah, because there's 2 categories left that he's in, right? Because I heard he could finish with 11. So, reality show and
the short form nonfiction, I think.
Untalked, yep. Okay.
I agree, Max, the Julia Louis-Dreyfus of hosting. Do you remember, Marcus, you're a big Survivor fan. Remember when it was Jeff Probst just every year winning this?
It was so weird. He won. He was nominated 4 times. He won 4 times, and then they never nominated him again. So he's never lost.
No, you're right. If lucky for RuPaul that Jeff Probst hasn't been nominated.
Yeah,
no, I think RuPaul still would have won.
And this is the first time ever that Survivor is not eligible. It didn't air any episodes during this Emmy eligibility period. So
yes,
it wasn't snubbed this year. It just wasn't eligible.
No, you may not notice because it hasn't been nominated for quite a few years. Not quite true because it has got a few of the cinematography or editing categories, but hasn't been nominated. So I hopefully Survivor makes a good comeback this year and can maybe break into the Emmys for next year.
That'll be the day.
Yeah.
And I don't say this as passing any judgment on Survivor. It's just like once a show is out for that long, it's really hard to get back in.
Yeah, I'd agree. So yeah, there we go. So we're awaiting the Love, Death, and Robots. we're waiting to see if Love, Death and Robots can win again today in the short form animated program category that's been won by very popular shows like Adventure Time and Robot Chicken in the past. And Robot Chicken, and what just won?
Love, Death and Robots just won animated short form program.
Fantastic, which means it is now on. Okay, let's do this all now. It won an award yesterday. It won that as well. It won the one it just won, the short form program. And also it is one which is they're just about to be presented now for Juried Awards. Now, the Emmy Awards give out some of their categories by a jury panel that discusses, deliberates, decides. They can give multiple awards for animation achievement. They can give 0 awards if they don't feel like anyone is deserving. They are counted as official Emmy wins. We don't usually at Gold Derby count honorary award wins, awards that are given, like, oh, you won an honorary Oscar. We don't count those. But because this is something that, even though it's not voted on in the same way, it is an award that is voted on to be won for an achievement in that particular year of television or film or whatever it is. So this counts as Emmy wins for Death and Robots, which means it gets 4 on top of the 2 it's already won, which, my maths is correct, means it is on 6 Emmy wins so far for the year.
Wow.
There you go. Now, you might think, boy, supposing, look, Beth Harmon's got a run for her money from Love, Death and Robots. But it's not eligible in any more categories for the Emmys this year. So that is where it's going to finish up. 6, it cannot catch the Queen's Gambit. However, it could be the second most Emmy-winning show this year. Like,
that's insane.
Yeah. Love, Death and Robots could win the second.
Would not put it past it.
Now, if you are so, just to make it clear, Love, Death and Robots have won. These are what it's won. In case you go, what did they win? How did they just win 4 Emmys? They have won. Dan Gill has won for stop motion animator. Laurent Nichols has won for character design. The Dan Gill's award was for the episode All Through the House. Lawrence one is for automated customer service. And for the episode Ice, one of their wins was for Patricio Bettio for background artist and Robert Valley for production design. So they've won. There are also 2 other juried awards that have been awarded for achievement in animation. One is for Nikki Rainier, who's won for The Simpsons. So The Simpsons is an Emmy winner this year for being the lead character layout artist. And Gendry Tarosky's Primal also won one of these. David Krentz as the storyboard artist, one for his storyboard art there, which means actually Primal is also on the board with 2 Emmy wins. Now, I didn't have a Primal card, but that's all right. We have chalk. So
very primitive, which is very in keeping with the tone of Primal.
Sorry, I might fix that up, make it a bit neater between shows. It's pretty messy. But
note to self: buy thinner chalk.
Yes, yes. Got the novelty clown chalk today for the board. Okay, so there you go. Primal is a 2-time Emmy winner, and Love, Death and Robots goes up to 6. While they're handing out these juried awards, I believe that will also be followed by a memoriam segment. So we might have a bit of a breather now. We can get on top of some of these categories as well. And it can be time for, if people need to take a little bit of a drink break or something like that are watching at home, they can. Remember, the Gold Derby, live Emmy Creative Arts show, the only place online to hear the winners announced live. Don't wait for next week's televised version of this show. You already know the winners. It'd be impossible to avoid spoilers. Everyone's going to be talking about it at work tomorrow around the water cooler about how Primal upset Big Mouth for the animated series award. So stay with us.
Chris, in our command center, Chris Beecham is saying maybe we should discuss our guest picks since there is a little bit of downtime right now.
Yes.
Is anybody not going for comedy? Is anyone not going with Maya Rudolph and Dave Chappelle? It seems like those are the two frontrunners.
I know I'm going with Chappelle. I can't remember if I have someone else for. No, I do have Maya Rudolph in there.
You know, I have Jane Addams right now.
Oh.
Well, and I can't
that.
change it now. But you know, all the sketch actresses, and she's so good, and she's been in so many things over the years. So I just, you know, if there's enough people behind Hacks, you know, she might pull it off. I know Maya Rudolph is a huge favorite, and she hosted this year, and she won last year, and she didn't even host. But I guess we'll see how much love there is for Hacks.
Yeah, I'd love to see her win. I generally, and Rob very well spoke about this yesterday, so I won't just repeat him. But I do think, just very quickly, I am biased and partial towards the series performances rather than the SNL performances here. So I'd love to see Jane Addams win. Who spoke with Gold Derby too. So she gave an interview with us about her nomination. I just think I'm not confident enough in any of the challenges to go against the conventional wisdom that says Maya Rudolph. And
when somebody's such a front runner, it's hard to go against that person, because if you get it wrong, everyone else just got it right.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
look,
if you get it right, everyone else just got it wrong.
Though, you know, sometimes it benefits you like it did for me in animated program.
There you go.
I'm just hoping, you know, Kristen Wiig is a big name too, and I don't think she's going to win, but she might pull a little from Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
Charlie, are you going to mention this Primal thing for the next couple of years? Because I'm still mentioning.
Oh, I've already got it on my calendar for the next decade.
Do you remember when I got Hidden Figures right at the Screen Actors Guild?
Yes, I do remember that. And now I get to be on that little island with you.
I love it. So good. What do we think about the other guest categories, the drama races, which I think are a bit more spicy?
I made a switch last night. Let me just I can't remember who I originally had. I originally had Claire Foy for The Crown in there, but I switched to Alexis Bledel last night. So for some reason I just feel like that just feels right. I'm not really sure. That one is probably the toughest of the four.
That one to me is a classic vote split, because you have the Alexis fans and then you have the McKenna fans, of which I'm one. So I don't know who they're going to pick, and I think both will get a lot of votes. So for that category, I'm going with an upset Sophie Okonedo from Ratchet.
I like this. Like it's a good upset to pick, because you do have that vote splitting with the Handmaid's Tale. What do you think, Denton?
I actually have Sophie Okonedo as well. As soon as I saw that episode, I was like, she deserves to win something. I mean, I thought she was incredible. It's the stand-up episode for me of that whole series, and her performance is the best one. So I would love to see her win. It's a long shot, but it would be fun to see her take it.
It reminds me of a David E. Kelly type character, and those would win these guest categories for The Practice all the time.
Yeah. Or Scandal. Like, Scandal never won anything except for guest acting all the time.
Of course, it's probably going to be one of the Handmaid's ladies. But see, I couldn't decide which one, so I'm like, I'm not picking.
But didn't Samira Wiley win when there were like three of them? And I mean, maybe she was the clear front runner that year, and these two are very split. Again, the experts even on our website can't figure out which one is the front runner.
Like, Handmaid's has done quite well in the past when there have been multiple nominees. Like, it has been a show that's been able to overcome vote splitting a bit. So we'll see how that sort of pans out. I switched to McKenna Grace yesterday. I don't know. I wonder if I just got caught up in the McKenna Grace hype, and it will just be Alexis Bledel. I think both are really good. McKenna Grace is probably the performance that I thought was more strong this year on the show. But I guess we'll find out. What's the drama guest actor? What are people saying there?
Charles Dance is the favorite for the crown, and I'm picking him as well.
Oh yeah, Dance v Vance. Is it like I'd love to see Vance win, but I think Dance is my pick too. I think the crown's going to do very well this year.
I have Vance winning. I have Courtney B. Vance winning.
Love it. I'd love that.
I have Dance winning,
him.
and I would love to see Vance winning.
Oh yeah. Even though he won for OJ, I feel like he needs another one.
He should have been nominated for Genius
He
Reaper.
needs to, because now Sterling has 3.
Yeah, he's got to catch up.
I think Vance was absolutely snubbed for Genius Aretha. He was incredible as her father in that.
Yeah.
Part of me is also thinking like one of the most Emmys things for them to do would be to give it to Don Cheadle for his cameo in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It would like after years of nominating him for House of Lies and Black Monday, they finally give it to him for the most blink and you miss it performance.
I love his tweet after he got nominated. He's like, I don't understand it either. And he did a shrug.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, so, yeah, it's funny. Sometimes the Emmys, you get these winners that you're like, oh, they're so inspired and they must have watched the seasons or the episodes. And then sometimes, and it does happen in these guest categories probably more often than other ones, you're like, how did that person win? Why do they know that person? So, yeah, well, watch out for the Don Cheadle.
And watch it'll be Margot Martindale will win Guest Actor in a Drama.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Okay, let's go to let me just check there isn't a new winner. No, there aren't. So, should we start to talk about the next swath of categories that are coming our way? Sound editing for non-fiction or reality. Alan vs. Farrow, still trying to get on the board. The Bee Gees still trying to get on the board. Billie Eilish still trying to get on the board. David Attenborough, Life on Our Planet could be climbing up even further. The Social Dilemma could be climbing up even further. And Tulsa Burning, the 1921 race massacre, also yet to get on the board. What do we think might win that sound editing award? And I'll just say quickly before you guys chip in, the sound mixing went to Life Below Zero. Is that correct?
David Attenborough.
No, that one's cinematography.
I think it won sound mixing too, didn't it? What one? Sound mixing?
David Attenborough won sound mixing.
Yeah. So David Attenborough won sound mixing, right? So this category, the sound editing award, has gone to the same winner of sound mixing the past 4 years, which is Apollo
We actually
11.
have a winner now.
Oh, great!
The winner for sound editing for nonfiction or reality is the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees, which has broken that past 4 years where it's lined up with the sound mixing for nonfiction.
Oh, I got my editing and mixing mixed up here.
Did you? Okay. I think that was editing. Mixing was earlier tonight, and this one's gone to the Bee Gees. So that's a different winner. Let's scuttle along to the next category because the Emmys have caught up with us, which is for picture editing. Picture editing for what? Which picture editing?
For a structured reality or competition program.
Do you have the nominees in front of you, Charlie?
C. I have The Amazing Race, Queer Eye, RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, and The Voice.
RuPaul won last year. Queer Eye won the 2 years before that. RuPaul won the year before that. So I would say RuPaul or Queer Eye will be winning this. And I'd go with last year's winner, RuPaul.
Yeah,
I would go
and
with
they
RuPaul.
won the directing, so,
Right.
I'll go with RuPaul.
Yeah, I would say RuPaul. Oh, wait, we have a winner. Picture editing for structured reality or competition goes to RuPaul. Again, RuPaul is dominating.
It's up to its fourth win. Fourth win for RuPaul. It's climbing up.
These drag queens have it too easy.
Okay, the next category is
I believe it's picture editing for an unstructured reality program.
Oh, brilliant.
Nominees there are Below Deck, Deadliest Catch, Life Below Zero, Naked and Afraid, title of your sex tape, and RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked.
Oh gosh.
Deadliest Catch is a dominant force in this category. But Life Below Zero is one before too. I would say it's between those two. I haven't seen Below Deck. My friends love that show. I mean, they tell me to watch it nonstop. So, you know, maybe there's some love for that. But
they're just friends. Why should you listen to them?
But I would say Deadliest Catch is probably the best bet here.
Yeah. I feel like Untucked gets nominated a lot over the years, but I don't think it wins a lot. So even though RuPaul's name is on this nomination, I would maybe go with Life Below Zero or Deadliest Catch.
Yeah,
the same. I would be very shocked if it wasn't one of those two.
Yeah. And I think probably maybe Life Below Zero. Although it has, it won in 2017, so it has won here before. So yeah, maybe they'll go Life Below Zero here. Cheer won last year, which isn't eligible this year. It didn't do another year, it's another season. So yeah, very good. And the category after that one is Drew and Jonathan Scott are going to be presenting the documentary or nonfiction special, documentary nonfiction series, and documentary nonfiction. Do we have a winner?
We did get a winner, and it was RuPaul's Drag Race for editing.
Now, let me just clarify for you guys. That was for RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, which is a different series to RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
So that won't affect RuPaul's Drag Race on the board.
Not on the board.
Actually, Chris is saying the winner is Life Below Zero.
Oh,
that's unstructured. Okay, so we have structured and unstructured.
okay.
That was my bad.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading that too. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Life Below Zero, which has won its second award, so that's fantastic. So Life Below Zero is one. I don't have a thing for Life Below Zero either, so I will put it up.
You don't want to think about Below Zero. You're just coming out of winter, aren't you?
Yeah.
Life Below Zero wins a lot of these tech races year after year.
There you go. Life Below Zero. It's got its second win. Also, I just want to quickly acknowledge, I'm using the turn of phrase yet to get on the board for a show that hasn't won any Emmys, but literally on the board that I have, you need 2 to get on the board. So I am sorry for the confusion that might be causing people, that I'm using a turn of phrase that is confusing with a literal prop that I have on me. Okay. So let's go to the documentary races. We love our documentaries at Gold Derby. And what's the first documentary category they're going to be presenting? It's going to be special documentary.
Yes, our
you can read out the nominees.
Our nominees are the Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Boy State, Framing Britney Spears, The Social Dilemma, and Tina. I think I know a lot of people are predicting Framing Britney Spears, but I have a feeling there might because it's specifically the documentary branch, they might be a bit snooty about it, and think that it's not as important. And the wins today, I am thinking that The Social Dilemma will probably win this.
I wish I could go back and change my prediction, but our prediction center is closed. So I did predict Britney Spears, but if I could switch now, I would go with Social Dilemma.
I'm exactly the same. I feel like I've walked into a bear trap or something by just ticking in the prediction center. Oh yeah, the Britney Spears one. That's the one that got the most attention without sort of realizing that The Social Dilemma had 7 nominations from the Emmys, and they really love that work. So yeah,
I will say if there could be an upset, I would love it to be Boy State. That one, I waited so long to watch that because I didn't know how much, if it was something that I'd be able to truly process. But then I actually watched it, and it's so good. It's so good.
Boy State was what I predicted to win in an upset. But The Social Dilemma, I mean, it's won a lot already,
and it won writing, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
The documentary or nonfiction series category, Alan vs. Farrow, American Masters, City So Real, Pretend It's a City, Secret of Wales.
Oh my God, that's so great!
What happened?
Boys State won.
Boys State won documentary
Boys
nonfiction
State
special.
nonfiction special. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Boys State with the upset.
Oh,
So
that's so great for them.
That's a point for me. I like that.
Yeah. So social. Yeah, great job, Denton. Great job calling it. So yeah, that's interesting. Social Dilemma, which started off very strong tonight with a couple of wins, has sort of started to lose a couple of awards. We're definitely not seeing a Queen's Gambit level sweep coming for the Social Dilemma. For the series award, which is coming up next, Alan vs. Farrow, American Masters, City So Real, Pretend It's a City, and Secrets of Wales. I think this could be where Alan vs. Farrow breaks into the Emmys this year, because it's not having to compete with some of these other things like the Social Dilemma in this category.
That's true.
Think?
I think that's something to. That's definitely probably one of the biggest things in its favor. But as we saw with the Boys State win, sometimes even when when you think it correlates something, it doesn't necessarily pull it off with the most nominations. I would love to see City So Real win this. It is such an interesting documentary about Chicago politics and the mayoral race in 2019. It's just so good. It's on Hulu if you haven't watched it. I will mention if Pretends It's a City win, Martin Scorsese will net another Emmy, and Fran Lebowitz, who's an executive producer, will score an Emmy for that as well. And if Secrets of the Wales wins, James Cameron will have an Emmy as well.
Oh, wow.
And I believe, actually, I don't know if this is the same, but one of the executive producers of American Masters, I don't know which episode they're nominated for, is Alicia Keys. I don't know if it's the same one.
I just bring in Chris has updated us with the Boys State win is no longer on the TV Academy page.
Oh,
he's
no.
not. He's not sure what's going.
to
Doesn't necessarily mean they didn't win. He's looking into it. So
is this
looking into it?
La La Land Moonlight?
Moonlight has won. Moonlight has won best documentary non-fiction special.
No, this happened last year at the Creative Arts. They said, I believe they said Jason Bateman won the Emmy, but it was actually Ron Cephas Jones.
No, they played. I think the announcer. It was something where there was a mix up with where the announcer. It was announced. They played the announcer saying Jason Bateman's name instead of, but on the screen it said Ron Cephas Jones.
Okay, he said now. Chris says it is back on the site, so it
one
looks
again.
like it's still one. Maybe it's
Damn right, it better be.
And apparently the tweet was deleted, but it's been reposted. So I think Boys State is doing okay. But we'll update you if there's any developments on that. We are going off information we're getting from the Academy, so that's how we're knowing the winners. We have
a winner for series.
Yep.
Documentary nonfiction series goes to Secrets of the Whales, which
apparently
are not secrets anymore.
The secret's out. The secret's out.
So that's
Disney Plus got the scoop.
So I know my friend Ryan McQuaid will be very happy that James Cameron has another Emmy.
Does Sigourney get an Emmy for that, or she was a producer?
She was not. She is not listed as one of the producers.
No, she's not on that list.
Next one, you got to get that producing money in there.
Yeah, and I believe that that's a great category to win for the Whales. They've really pulled off a coup here because Last Dance, Making a Murderer, The Jinx. There's been some incredible series that have won out.
Those are some good shows that you just mentioned.
Yeah. So this is
Into the Storm in here as well.
Yeah. Maybe some Annie Hall fans in the Academy. I don't know. This Alan vs. Farrow isn't doing as well as you would have thought. Exceptional merit in documentary filmmaking is the next category. Dick Johnson is Dead, 76 Days, and Welcome to Chechnya. What do we think?
Chechnya, yeah.
Chechnya. Sorry.
So that one, this is a juried one. So this is one of those where it's usually just been a regular one, but it's a juried one, and so we may have, everyone might win, only a couple might win, none might win. We don't know about that. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that. But I do have in my number one slot, I do have 76 Days in there. Though I kind of am wishing that I had put Dick Johnson is Dead in there after that directing win. Yeah.
I had Welcome to Chechnya because I thought it was so great. And some Dick Johnson is Dead and Welcome to Chechnya were shortlisted for Oscars and weren't nominated. So if you're shortlisted but not nominated, you can go for an Emmy. But if you're nominated, you can't go for the Emmy.
Well, you can go for it, but you might not be able to win the Emmy because we've got the winner in that category, 76 Days, the non-Oscar shortlisted film. So there you go.
Upset. Wow.
An upset.
And that's about COVID, right? So
yeah, it's about the initial lockdown in Wuhan. I interviewed the director Hao Wu for the Oscars during a panel back in February, and then I interviewed him again for the Emmys panel we did back in June. So
yeah,
nice.
We only have 3 more categories of this show, which is wild. W. Camobell is presenting, and it's a structured reality program, short form non-fictional reality, and unstructured reality program. The categories that we've got up. So let's go to structured reality program first. And the nominees for structured reality program: Antique Roadshow, Property Brothers, Forever Home, Queer Eye, Running Wild with Bear Grylls, and Shark Tank. Queer Eye's won the last 3 years. Shark Tank's won the 4 years before that. And this is Antique Roadshow's 19th nomination, I believe.
Yeah, it's never been able to pull this one out.
So I'd love it to win 1 year. I'm not saying this has to be the year that it wins, but it'll be I think it'd be nice for it to be an Emmy-winning show and not just nominated 20 times or however many.
And it'd be a year when it's nominated against the 4 biggest blockbuster structured reality show seasons, and then it pulls out the win there. That's how it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I think Queer Eye wins again. I think I accidentally predicted Shark Tank in the prediction center, forgetting that Queer Eye won the last 3 years in a row. But I think Queer Eye is going to win this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Queer Eye probably has this one in the bag. I just hate when something keeps winning over and over and over again. It kind of makes our job a little bit boring, where we just say, "I'm going with last year's winner," but I mean, is anyone not going with Queer Eye?
No.
I'm just hoping that Shark Tank doesn't win.
Hey, I like Shark Tank.
I like Shark Tank, but I don't want any more awards to go to Mark Burnett.
It's funny that the Sharks themselves were never producers when the show was winning over and over, but now they are, and it loses. Okay, we have a winner, Queer Eye.
Yep. Queer Eye's won again. Is that Queer Eye's first win of the night? I think it might be.
I think it is.
Yeah. And our next category is documentary and non-fiction series. I'm reading the wrong one. It is short form non-fiction or reality. Do you have the nominees in front of you? Anyone? Short form?
Yes, I do. We got Full Frontal with Samantha Bee presents Pandemic Video Diaries, Vaxxed and Waxed. Inside Pixar, Pose, Identity Family Community, Top Chef, Last Chance Kitchen, and Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. And for that title alone, I really want that to win.
Yeah, it is good. Pose did quite well yesterday at the awards. I do wonder if the Identity Family Community, but we've seen a pandemic special for Samantha Bee, was obviously pandemic related.
And they have one, and Full Frontal has won for specials before for their Not the White House Correspondents' Dinner back in 2017.
Yeah, and who doesn't love Pixar? I could see that.
I feel like
I know some people that don't.
Pixar here is the apple in the bag of oranges, or whatever fruits we use for that metaphor, because everything else is kind of timely or important, or I guess Top Chef would also kind of be apart from that. But what if Pixar were to win this?
Yeah,
everyone loves Pixar.
Yeah, other than some of Charles' friends.
Well, yeah, and as long as nothing goes to John Lasseter, I think everything's good in everyone's books.
Well, Inside Pixar only has one producer that will be winning it, and it is Jennifer Zaccaro. So it will not be going to John Lasseter. Ryan Murphy wins if Pose takes this out. Just looking for any. Samantha Bee will win an Emmy if Full Frontal takes this out. So some.
I kind of feel like since she was snubbed in the main category, the variety talk category, this would be nice justice if she still won an Emmy this year.
Yeah, and like I don't think all of those people who got nominated over her will be winning Emmys this year, so she'll definitely get in over some of those nominees. Yeah,
sure.
So
I'm gonna go with Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. You know, that went viral on a lot of platforms, and it's also a timely topic. Yeah. So I'll go with that one.
It'd be interesting because if it were to win, I think we would carry that rollover from the Oscars documentary categories, where the most interesting title can be a winner. Where we've had Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone. Yeah, I think that would be that'd be an interesting carryover there.
Because this is a program category, so all of the members of the Academy can vote in this. Is that correct?
I think so.
So we're talking about
Vaxxed and Waxed is a nice ring to it as well.
Yeah, there's some good names.
You imagine being the engraver for R.S. Owens, having to engrave that on an Emmy trophy.
Yeah.
Along with last year's Eat Shit Bob and I'm That Bitch.
Yeah. And Don't F with Cats.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, very good. Max in the chat has just said that 76 Days was shortlisted at the Oscars. I had said it wasn't, so apologies about that. Correction. Rare correction from Gold Derby. Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program is last category of the night. You have Becoming, Below Deck, Indian Matchmaking, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, and Selling Sunset. What do we think? This is actually RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, their 5th nomination in this category, but they haven't been able to win.
We have a winner also.
Yes, please tell us, Denton.
Conversations with a Black Man.
Oh,
there you go. I think they voted on the title. You're right, Charlie.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Emmy voters could relate. I'm sure to. Yes.
You imagine they just have a campaign of the campaign is just the guy who hosts is just it's just an ad of the guy who's looking at it, and he's just looking like, really, you're gonna vote for something else?
Yeah. I love it. So we've got one more category. We've got Becoming, Below Deck, Indian Matchmaking, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, and Selling Sunset. What do we think, guys?
This is a really tough category. There's no front runner. I guess this could be the year Untucked finally wins something. It's
the overdue one. None of our winners from the past 5 years are nominated here, so we don't have a run
through the winners. What type of show wins this year?
Cheer won last year. United Shades won.
United Shades has won this one before.
Yeah, and Born This Way won in 2016.
I'm going with Becoming. It's LeBron James. It's about famous people and how they got famous. So there you go.
I'm going with that as well.
LeBron James would be an Emmy winner if they won.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he has not. Because I guess
Drag Race Untucked finally claims it.
Yeah, so not quite as easy to win an Emmy as an NBA championship ring, LeBron. Try better luck next time. Okay.
You need to go back to Miami and make another season of Becoming. That's how you're going to win this one.
Yeah, very much so. Bugs, go back to the courts with Bugs and Daffy and Lola. Do a bit more shooting out with them. Maybe you'll get an Emmy. So there you go. That is our awards for the day. I think RuPaul's Untucked, as I said before, when we thought it might have won something, does not move up RuPaul's Drag Race on the board because it is a separate series. It is a different series.
But it does give him another Emmy, and that brings his total tally to 10.
Yeah, his total does go up. There you go. There is our board after tonight's.
So I believe if he wins for hosting, or no, he already did win. So if he wins one more, he will be the most Emmy-winning Black winner in history.
And
from what I understand,
if they win Best Reality Competition Program, then
Yeah.
he will be, right. Like that,
Yep.
he will win then.
They
So
have
there
to
you
win.
go.
They have to.
So really, Love, Death and Robots up to 6. We did know they were winning 4 of them going into today, so that's probably not the big story. I guess just big story today. Like I guess RuPaul and Primal taking out our key awards. Let's just go around the room. What are our thoughts, guys, on this morning's or this afternoon's? Sorry, I'm still in Australian time zone. This afternoon's awards ceremony. Charlie, where is your head at right now?
Well, my head is right now that Miss Thang here needs food, but the other thing that I'm very proud that I was able to like use some of like all these years of logic of trying to understand certain things about the TV Academy. That some of those bets paid off, like 76 Days and Primal taking animated program. But I'm also really happy that because I was really worried, like after last night, seeing Queen's Gambit just steamroll the creative arts categories that it was nominated in. And I was worried at first when The Social Dilemma was picking up those first 2 awards. I was thinking that we would get something like a sweep and not really see anything spread out, which I usually like with these documentary and nonfiction categories. But then getting to see something like Boys State winning the nonfiction special, seeing some of the other winners, including it was nice seeing Social Dilemma get some, and then what were some of the other ones? I'm blanking on them right now.
Like David Attenborough won some.
Yeah, like the David Attenborough
Wales
some Secrets of Wales winning. It was nice to see that more spread out rather than just the same thing winning everything. That this was a much more welcome contest to see.
Yeah. What do you think, Marcus? What's your sort of like what's at the top of your head at the moment?
I will say there's a lot of repeat winners from past years. RuPaul wins all these categories. Maya Rudolph won again.
Life Below Zero?
Life Below Zero won a couple more. But there were some new winners. Stanley Tucci broke in. Untucked broke in, even though that's kind of a similar thing. So I guess when you're making your predictions next year, don't forget that. They really love what they love, and it seems to be hard to break into these reality variety races specifically if you're a new show.
Yeah. What do you think, Denton?
Yeah, I was happy to see Boys State win and Stanley Tucci. That's a fun surprise. And, RuPaul's Drag Race, kind of rebounded after they didn't have a great night last night. They were only up for a couple, but they lost hair and makeup. So, we were sort of wondering if the momentum was fading, but it appears that it is definitely not.
Yeah.
And Sterling K. Brown.
And Sterling
He won Narrator. That's huge.
Yeah, that is big. I think for me, like, I'm fairly surprised by the lack of love for the Allen vs. Farrow series, which came in with a lot of nominations today. I think it was a really well done show. It was about Hollywood as well. So I'm surprised that sort of got left in the cold. And it's interesting that the sort of series went to a documentary series about whales after this year. The octopus did so well at the Oscars. We see like marine life is really your key to maybe success in these documentary awards.
What about marine life and drag? I think that's how you win.
Yeah.
The underserved whale drag queen market.
And what is Woody Allen's status in the industry right now? I mean, he hasn't been, shunned in all of the ways that some people have. So, we don't know what everyone thinks of him.
Yeah, there may have been some people who didn't like the way that series approached it. I guess probably a lot of people in Hollywood have opinions. And some might be positive, some might be negative, but yeah.
And I think there's also the chance that there just might be some people who liked other things better. It may not be that they just, I don't know if it's necessarily that they don't believe or they side with Woody Allen, not in that the allegations never happened. But it's just maybe that they thought that others were more important or more well made. But yeah, it is weird. I don't know what Allen's standing in the industry is right now, because like it seems like a lot of his more recent projects have. I think he hasn't really had a very successful project since Blue Jasmine. I think he had that Amazon series that just went nowhere. And then there was the movie with Chalamet. Did that ever get released?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
There's been, like, he hasn't really had any success since the Me Too movement, I would argue. Like
I would say even before that, it really
that's fair.
Because that was what was so weird when Midnight in Paris had its awards run, because he hadn't had a really big Oscar player or something that resonated in years. Even Match Game only got that one nomination for original screenplay. So I think he's been on sort of a downward career trajectory for a while.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, that was for me a big surprise that show didn't do better at the awards, but it did do very well with nominations. It was something that at least was recognized tonight by the Academy. Primal, big upset there, I think, even though you called it, Charles, that was a big upset. And I'm always very interested in what wins that animated series award and sort of gets in sort of a very, like, I love that category, and sort of like some of my favorite old animated shows like Batman the Animated Series and The Simpsons in its heyday, and Futurama have won that award. So I like to see what enters that canon. So yeah. Before we wrap up, should we just we've got one more award show coming up today. We've got the third Creative Arts ceremony. I'll be here with the board. You three will not. So what I want, I believe, as long as I've read everything correctly. So what are you guys most looking forward to? What should we look out for in today's second show, which will be looking at the guest acting categories, music categories. I think visual effects are in the mix. Stunts are in the mix.
Casting.
What? Sorry.
Casting. I can't wait to see casting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marcus? Give us your quick thoughts on casting.
Well, before yesterday, there was a lot of confusion about what would win limited series. Queen's Gambit, Mayor of Easttown, WandaVision, Maybe I May Destroy You. But now, after yesterday, when Queen's Gambit won 7, I think it's pretty much a lock to win limited series. So will it win casting, or will they branch out and go with something else? I can't wait.
If it wins casting, will it win an acting award? Because that's another thing, is we've got Kate Winslet,
right,
who would be the presumptive winner if there's going to be one that's not Queen's Gambit.
That's true. Queen's Gambit could win casting in a couple hours and then not win any cast members next Sunday.
I will say, so just remember 3 years, is it, or 2 years ago, the casting was one of the few that Chernobyl lost to When They See Us, which did end up at the main ceremony claiming Gerald Jerome for lead actor. So yeah, something to keep in mind there.
Stranger Things also won casting for its first season and then didn't win any acting awards. But Handmaid's Tale picked up a few. So yeah, but no, that's a very good point.
I will say my long shot acting pick, very long shot for next week, is Thomas Brody Sangster for limited supporting actor.
Whoa.
You're predicting him?
And because I just thought he was great. And, I just don't know if this is the Evan Peters role for an Emmy. And the Hamilton stuff is just too much. But so I think that could be primed for an upset. And I think he has a shot.
What should we look out for in a couple of hours, Denton Davidson Awards?
Yeah, I agree with Marcus that casting, and if Queen's Gambit continues to keep checking off marks on your board, is it going to run off your board? Like how many can it win?
I think I'll just look at the numbers. I think it can win I think it can get up to 11 today if it
Okay.
wins all its categories today. For the including next week's Emmys, I think it can. I think there are 10 more categories that is eligible in.
Wow.
So I might need to add numbers to this for next week. I think 17 could be the total. If I'm there is an article on Gold Derby about Queen's Gambit chasing history, so that I would trust those numbers over the ones I've handwritten in front of me.
And I can't wait to see who wins the guest acting categories. Just to, settle it once and for all. Let's see.
Also, will The Crown win casting? Will Ted Lasso win casting? Because these are the front runners for series. So if they lose, things will be shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, that's very good. Charlie, what should we look out for?
So in addition to casting and the guest categories, I am very much looking forward to the actor and actress in a short form comedy or drama series races. In actress in a short form, I'm really, really rooting for Paula Pell, who is so wonderful. Who I love. She's having this wonderful moment in her career right now after spending years as a writer on SNL. And she is up for Mapleworth Murders, which was on Quibi, but now you can watch it on the Roku channel. This like short spoof of Murder, She Wrote that she co-created with John Lutz, and she's absolutely hilarious in it. Though I would also love it if Carrie Kenny Silver won for Reno 911, because I always have adored her on that show. And in the actor one, you got John Lutz and JB Smoove both nominated for Mapleworth Murders. I would love it if one of them won. But you also have two actors from Die Hard, another Quibi show. Kevin Hart, who plays himself, and John Travolta are in that. And then you also have Brendan Scannell for this show called Bonding on Netflix, which is a very twisted but very funny show. And I would love it if if him or Lutz or Smoove won, because I think they're all just wonderful.
And Charlie, you mentioned earlier also Tuning Out the News is eligible for a category later on today, right?
Is it? I did not look at this one. Is it the short format one or?
Yeah, I think it's the short format one that's at because that wasn't in the short form that we had in this ceremony. So that one could also.
We have short form comedy. It's not up for short form comedy, drama, or variety series. I would think it would be nominated for short form animated series if it was in there.
It's nominated. We interviewed the guy.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's in one of the categories. It's nominated at some point.
It's nominated for something.
Nominated for something, and I think it might be in the next show.
We'll also have Variety Special Live and Variety Special Pre-Recorded. So Hamilton is probably going to win Pre-Recorded.
Don't tell the Bo Burnham fans that, though.
Yeah. Are they in the chat room?
I don't know if they're in the chat room, but
I think Bo Burnham will win a lot, though. And one of the things I'm interested to see is, the Grammys are so low on everyone's list. I thought that was the best award show of the year, in my opinion. And I don't understand why it's in last place in that category. So I'm curious to see if that could possibly pull something out.
There we go. In the director race, too, that we've got coming up, we're going to have, they might both lose to Bo Burnham, but West Wing vs. Friends.
I love that.
It's like, how cool is that? The NBC Emmy-winning drama versus the NBC Emmy-winning comedy about 15 years later, going head-to-head at an Emmys directing race.
And don't forget, you also have Spike Lee up for directing David Byrne's American Utopia as well. Yeah. That's gonna be a really interesting category to see later tonight.
I also love go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, you go, Mark.
I also love the visual effects categories. I love seeing who wins there. So they have, the Boys is going up against Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Lovecraft Country, Mandalorian, WandaVision. That's something to watch.
It's going to be so exciting, guys. There is no place you'd rather be than Gold. Yeah, no, good.
One other. So, what do you all have winning television movie?
Sylvie's Love.
I don't know.
Same.
I don't even know what I've got winning television.
So why that's its only nomination though, right?
Yeah, I've got that one too.
I think that's its only nomination, right?
Can't you say that for all of them?
Oslo's got a couple, does it? Or,
Because-
no? Or is it Oslo's only nomination too?
I have Oslo winning
I could see Oslo winning.
because I don't know. I didn't.
I could see Oslo winning. I could see Uncle Frank winning. You know, I don't think this is as a runaway as people have presumed. I think it's one of those categories that people just kind of clicked the top box.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why is Sylvie's Love like the runaway favorite for so many people?
It did a lot of campaigning.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good question. So keep your eye on that movie, movie category. Guys, don't everyone take a break for a couple of hours, but you got to come back to Gold Derby to watch the Creative Arts Emmy Awards Part 3. It starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which I imagine means it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, somewhere in between if you're Central. And it's going to be a wild awards. We're going to see guest actors win, some big names going head-to-head, some big shows. Can Queen Gambit continue to just run up the board? Thank you so much, Charles, Denton, and Marcus. It is always so great to talk awards with you. And thanks to everyone who's been watching in the chat room. GoldDerby.com. See you all in how many hours from now? 3 hours? About 3 hours? 2 hours. 2 hours. Okay. See you then. Thanks for watching.